A thing that I've mentioned in a couple of videos lately is pick the frugal things that you like to do. That makes it easier to slip into that frugal life or to add more frugal things to what you're doing on a daily basis. And everything makes a difference. So today I'm going to show you some of the frugal things I'm doing around the farm here in Kansas. And we're going to talk about some of the benefits of those that aren't necessarily money. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. One of the things that I like to do is get out and take a walk on days that are really nice. I did this when I lived in Texas in my RV as well. I can't go very far. I think I walked 1/8 of a mile this morning. I can't walk much more than that at once, but I try to do it often. And as you can see, where I live, it is very flat. So, walking or exercising has great frugal benefits. Not only are you not paying to go to a gym, not paying for the gas to go to a gym, or paying those monthly membership fees, whether or not you go there, you are able to do it on the days that you feel like you're able to do it. You're able to soak up some vitamin D, have less stress, decompress, maybe lower your sickness rate, strengthen yourself to prevent falling, and maybe even lower some doctor's visits or lower some medication. So there's a lot of frugal benefits just to getting out and taking care of ourselves a little bit and just breathing some fresh air. When I worked, I would come home every day and walk 4.5 miles back in my day, in my 40s. And it helped me decompress so much. And I was able to give my family my best by getting out and walking. Plus, I lost a lot of weight and I felt the best I had ever felt in my mid 40s. So, I highly recommend if you can squeeze a walk into your day, you're not only being frugal, but you're also taking care of yourself, which can also be frugal. My husband does most of the mowing. I used to love to mow, but with some of my health problems, I have to be really careful. I can do a few strips every single day, but I can't do like the whole yard. But I try to stay active and do as much as I can to help him. I don't want it all falling on him. And so he mentioned to me this morning before he left that he was going to mow tomorrow. So I got my wagon. I love my wagon. I use it for everything, unloading groceries from my car and pulling it to the house. I use it for yard work. I use it for my gardening. It has just been a really good purchase for me. But I also go out and try to pick up the sticks that have fallen over the winter. Now, can I do the whole yard? Absolutely not. But I got about a 16-foot by 8-foot square picked up. And that is at least that much that he doesn't have to try to pick up on his own. And then when I feel better, I might be able to go out again tomorrow and do some more. Now, we do our own yard work, and that is something I have never hired out. We're trying to keep doing our own yard work for as long as we can. It can be very expensive. And when you live on a farm and you have shade trees, you have a lot of older trees that end up dying or parts of them dying. The wind blows, the limbs fall off, and there's a lot of cleanup all the time. When my kids were young, they would help us pick up sticks before we mowed. And that was one of the things that they did. And of course, I had a bunch of kids, so it really came in handy. And that was one of the things we did on Saturday mornings after they have watched some of their cartoons. Because back then cartoons were on Saturday. But we would go out and pick up sticks, and then we had a stick pile. We would put them all in, and then on nice calm days, we would burn the sticks. We also have a little cactus patch that every single year the cactuses grow back. I took a bucket and my chair and a small shovel out there, and I dug up the cactuses before he mowed so that we won't spread that seed. It's really important to dig those up and get the root completely, if you possibly can, to try to keep them from coming back. But rather than spraying for weeds, we just focus on the cactus. And that's something, again, that he would have done if I didn't do it. I used to love going outside when my kids were young, and I still do. I'm an outside person. So that's one of the reasons I love hanging clothes on the line. There would be a lot of housework, a lot of laundry when my kids were growing up, and hanging clothes on the line was the times that I got to go out of the house and do some of my housework outside and really get to enjoy the outdoors. So that's probably one of the reasons I'm so fond of it. But those are some of the things that I like to do. I like to do yard work. I like to garden. I like to help, but it's hard for me to do too much. So I do it in small increments. And by us doing our own yard work, we save a lot of money. The only thing that we do hire out, and we will be hiring out again this year, is getting sprayed for ticks. We do have ticks out here. Some years they're worse than others. We just assess the situation every year. And if it looks like it's going to be a bad tick season, then we go ahead and get it sprayed. That's about $250 to do under my clothesline, my front yard, my backyard, and my driveway. And believe me, it makes a big difference in being able to enjoy our yard without the worry of having ticks. So, those are some frugal things that we do on our own that also benefit our health, our emotional well being. And I find that being outdoors does so much for my perspective and my positivity. Let me know, are you an outdoor person? So, a lot of things like walking, doing your own yard work, hanging clothes on the line, gardening, those are some of my favorite frugal activities. They actually help our health, which can be another frugal thing, as you see, with the long term benefits that come from them. I've lost 8 pounds. I'm so excited about that. I have been stuck at the same weight and ounce for about the past year. And getting out and doing some of this stuff, walking, gardening, and doing a lot of these things where I stay active benefits me in ways that pay off in the end in more than one way. Also, being frugal with my shopping has helped me lose weight because I only shop sales, clearance. I try to make stuff with what we have at home. And I've given up some foods that I used to buy occasionally, and I haven't been eating them for at least 3 months, like boxed cereal. It's too expensive. I don't even care if it's generic, it still costs too much. And cereal has a lot of calories. For lunch today, I have 2 pieces of cheese in a hot dog bun that needs used up with mayo. And bread is bread. So I think I've mentioned before, I buy one type of bread and I only eat it occasionally. And my husband's gluten free. So I don't eat many carbs. So today I'm using some of this up because we're getting ready to have a vacation to Florida, and I don't want any of the food to waste while we're gone. So being frugal in that example not only helps my grocery bill, but it's helped me lose weight. And it really is true. If you focus on lessening some of those prepackaged foods or cutting back on your sugar a little bit, you really don't have the cravings for those products to begin with. So it helps you stay on track with your budget. It helps your health. And in my case, it's helped me lose weight. And of course, gardening and cooking at home is so much more healthy than eating out or buying some pre-processed foods. It is better for your cholesterol, better for your sugar and fiber intake, and you know what is actually going in your food. Some of those restaurants that you go to, and maybe you would get a pasta, it is crazy to then go to log that food and see how many calories was in that one dish. And even if you split it in half, it's still way more calories than I would normally eat at a meal. So, not eating out has also improved my health, and it's also frugal. Portion sizes can really make a difference when you're trying to lose weight and when you're trying to be frugal. It saves you money to just cut back a little bit on what you're eating. Many times, we as Americans just load our plates full. And I have started cutting back, and you know what? I'm full, I'm satisfied, I'm not hungry in between meals. So it's working. So I'm using less food and I'm doing more active things in between my meals. So being frugal has health benefits, guys. If you haven't tried some of these health benefits from being frugal, I encourage you to do so. And I'm sure there are more that I haven't even touched on. So, thank you for being with me today and listening for my take on how frugal living can be an improvement to your health and to your life. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon.